Majesties will call for the presence of John Poe Silvertop.
30 seconds!
Your Majesty, Excellency, Grace is noblest and most popular. A young rogue stepped out of the endless road with a smile on his face, steel in his hand, a can of ready whip, and the bite of a golden apple, traveled tavern balls, and tournaments, and iron rings, and steel therapy with mercenaries and rapier menace. Glory came with rapier wit and noble aspect. He secured prizes for the novice tournament, so that all would be able to leave with a parting gift. And here also we joined a noble lineage of fencers, so in the last moments of war, take watch over this field with kingdom banners and steel, so all know that this land is Ethelmark. And he has continued this tradition with his cadets. All these travels and deeds he did with steel in his hand, the fencing community in his heart, and fencing in his soul. So, some time ago, Your Majesties, asked him a question. And today, in a very Don Poe-esque fashion, he comes today to answer this question.
You ever counsel?
Council?
This is your wish to proceed.
I am complimented by Your Majesty's faith in me. If it is my Majesty's will,
Their Majesties invite before them the members present of the most noble order of defense.
Candidate's already said he gave him lots of After having spoken with him and counseled him, is this still your wish?
Yes.
Yes. I would hear testimony appears in the
Is there one amongst the populace who would speak to this man's worthiness?
There is. And Don Verdi. Don Verdi. Tongue-tied for a change, Don. And Baron Verdi of the Endless Hills. I am emotional this day, Your Majesties. And I ask thee forgiveness for that. And forgiveness for inflicting a certain Don Poe Silvertop on the society at large. I am responsible for this man. We met during the Scottish play. Scottish tragedy. He needed help. I brought the SCA. The man, it was a Renrat at that time and a theater goer. The SCA was brought in, and he took to it like a cat to whipped cream. Showed him what I know, and traded him off to a certain Don Fergus for a ham sandwich. At that point in time, it was worth it.
It's not like one of Eric's turkey sandwiches.
No. This is a true, delicious ham sandwich. This man is my sword brother. This man has come a long, long way with long, hard roads. He's taught much, he's learned a lot. When we were at East Kingdom, there was a manual put out about what a cadet should be, what a white scarf should be. And they should emulate the old masters. This man has found a favorite old master that is second to none for this. He is taught, he is fun to fight, and this society is something that should be emulated. Not just the skill to kill, the skill to bring others to the fight, to enjoy it, to bring it here. He well deserves the title Master of Defense. I know, I've had a few masters myself. It would be an honor and a privilege to call this man Master. Brother, you well deserve it. And those who follow you in steel therapy will probably agree. And the endless hills is a vivat to your elevation. So well deserved at this point in time. Should have been sooner. Your Majesties.
Is there one amongst the Order of the Chivalry who will speak for this man's worthiness?
There are two. I'll be playing both parts. First from Count Andreas. Oh wait, he's left-handed. Your Majesties, noble peers, and assembled populace, these words come from Count Andreas Morgan, Knight of the Society, concerning Don Poe's Silvertongue. Poe was made a white scarf during my reign before I was a knight. It makes me feel a bit wibbly-wobbly now to speak for him as a knight. At that time, the decision to elevate his status was simple. He exhibited behavior that was becoming of anyone deserving recognition of high merit. He already displayed many chivalric virtues. Since then, Poe has not slacked off or become complacent. He's maintained his drive and continues to share his passion for the art of the sword. He has proven to be a steadfast supporter of the crown and more specifically the roses. It is because of people like Poe that the society continues to prosper. It is often the knight, he put it in quotes, that is the face of the SCA and is a core attribute of the vision that new people have. Poe does so much to be this person to so many people. He has a theatrical gift that, when paired with his prowess, makes him stand out as a prominent figure of the rapier community. His leadership and fostering skills keep the society alive. It is for all these things that I can say without reservation, this man is my peer. Now me. I met Poe over 20 years ago. We both come from a very geographically challenged area in the Endless Hills. I didn't like him very much. He was outspoken, he was arrogant, he was theatrical, flamboyant, positive that what he did was what we all should do. And wait a minute, that's me. We already have one of those in the Endless Hills. Watch him over the years. We have competed, we have collaborated. When the argument / conversation about what this peerage was going to stand for, and when I had to think of my own opinion about what was the place for this, it was Poe that was in my mind. This man was on the road to a peerage that did not have a peerage. When I imagined what this order was going to be, it was Poe Silvertop who needed to be there. So I'm thrilled to be able to be here and speak for him today. You're not the rogue anymore, my friend, you're the example. He is undeniably a peer. Mine and everyone else in this room. Thank you, man.
Will one from the Order of the Laurel speak to the worthiness of this man?
Master, all right.
I'll speak for him. Poe has a mastery of the tongue that I have never seen before. Probably will never see since. It is a gift. It is, in fact, an art. He and I have crossed swords many a time. And it is my delight to say as a Laurel and as a master of defense that this man is my peer. Thank you very much.
If I may, I am Master Grim the Skald of the East Kingdom of the Order of the Laurel, and I would like to say that there is an art to the joy that this man brings to the art of defense. And it is an art as pure as any art that the Laurel practices. And this man is our peer.
Will one from the Order of the Pelican speak to the worthy qualities of this man?
That alibi thing. Are we done? Let's reverse this. As I was saying.
Let's get him one more time.
It seems their ballistics were off.
As I was saying. Okay. So, I go up and I say, what's this? I hear about you crossing our borders and helping train fencers in the East. No, Lady Gabby, you would never do that. I have an alibi. Oh, what's this about you literally taking the mail shirt off your back and handing it to someone so someone can fence, giving up the rest of your afternoon? Darling, would I ever do that? I have an alibi. Or would I create tournaments in Pensic, giving up hours of my life wandering around, begging piteously, please, please have pity on the novices of Ethelmark, to get gifts so that nobody walks away sad after a hard day fighting? Mistress Gabrielle de Winter, would I do that? I have an alibi! But that is all red herring. If you want someone who is generous, someone who is good of heart, take our dear Poe. He believes that service, unlike things are actually illegal, should be done quietly and in the dark, so that nobody can say anything about it. He dazzles you with his roguish charm in one hand and quietly puts his hand where it needs to be to support you in the other. Service is done with a smile, with generosity, and with great heart, and that is why he is absolutely my peer.
Will a royal peer speak to this man's worthy qualities?
That is my privilege. Don Poe loves the Order of the Rose so much, he could not possibly choose between us. So I also bring the words of my sister. Countess Callista sends to you. As a new princess that was eager to learn the art of rapier, Poe was more than willing to teach and support, and was always on hand with a most appropriate alibi. During my reign, I saw fit to test his mettle with the use of a terrifying mom voice, and putting him to the quest, then recognized Poe's passion for fencing and for teaching, his comportment and prowess, my induction into the Order of the White Scarf. At that moment, Poe became my baby Don. In the years since, I have found him to be a shining example of honor and chivalric virtue, and he has become a dear friend, dear and treasured friend. His loyalty and devotion to his kingdom, his art, and forever to his queen is limitless. His heart is true and full of love for fencing. His soul, maybe it's best not to speak of that. As a royal peer, my kingdom is forever first in my thoughts and actions. The actions of this man speak to his steadfast devotion to Ethelmark and her sovereigns, and in this I say he is my peer. These are the words of my sister, Countess Callista. As for my own words, and thank you. To be a peer of Ethelmark is no small thing. A peer is forthright and direct. We hold honor above all. We are imperfect and we strive to be better. We speak truth to power. Our elevation is the first step of a long journey. We spend the rest of our lives striving to be worthy of the accolade. Long, long ago, I met a young rogue. He was full of charm and mischief. He found an outlet for his energy in the fencing community. As a rose, I speak of inspiration. Poe spends his time and energy every year organizing a tournament for the novice fencers in order to inspire and grow this community. He has inspired so many, including myself. He's never lost his roguish charm, but he's grown into a leader and an inspiration to us all. To be a peer of Ethelmark is no small thing. You will spend the rest of your life striving to be worthy. I have every confidence in you.
Will one amongst the Order of Defense speak to this man's worthiness?
Your Majesties, Your Highness, noble populace, fencers, duelists, friends, family, strangers, people who don't know me. Patrick. I am Baron Benedict Fergus out of Mead, by the grace of the Crown, Master of Defense. I believe that when we leave a place, part of it goes with us, and part of us remains. Go anywhere on this field. It is quiet, and just listen. After a while, you'll hear the echoes of all of our conversations. Every crash of steel, every cry of victory, every shout of frustration, every call of good, dead, yes, great shot, hold, get your own damn beer. But for a great many of us, this field would be much more quiet, much more melancholy, without the laughter of some guy in a hat. Poe is not the steely-eyed, grim-faced hero of many stories. He's been called many things in his time. A rogue, a showboat, a fool. I'm not speaking of others' words about him. I'm speaking of his own words. Close to a decade ago, he did me the honor of asking to be my student. And I tried to talk him out of it. I said, you don't want my reputation attached to you. And when I was certain that he actually did wish that burden, I asked him an incredibly difficult question. It's a question that I ask all of my students. If you knew that in order to advance, in order to get whatever recognition is ahead of you, White Scarf, join the Order of Defense, become a peer, if you knew that you fundamentally had to change who you are, would it be worth it? Stop being Poe in order to be, at that point, Don Poe. It's a question no one wants to answer. You didn't want to answer it either. Who could blame it? And finally, after a time, I insisted. He said, no. No, then it's not worth it. If I have to change who I am. I said, okay, now we can begin. And over many years, this man has grown. He's still fundamentally who he is. But when a teacher was needed, Poe was here. A warrior was needed, Poe was here. When a champion was needed, Poe was here. In every respect that I can imagine, you are my peer. And that is why we are all here. Your Majesties, if I am a master of defense, this man certainly is.
Having heard this testimony, is there a sword hanger for this man?
There is. Your Majesty's Highness, my dear friend.
Is there a cloak to adorn this man's shoulders?
There is.
Is there a collar for this man as the latest master of defense in the kingdom of Ethelmark?
There is. This is the ancestral medallion of the Order of Defense of Ethelmark. It went first to Her Grace Dorinda Courtenay, then to Orlando de Bene de Vita, then to Queen Kerr, then to William Paris, then to Benedict Fergus at Mead, then to Iago Benitez, then to Ananias Fenn, then to Bastiano de Jacopo, then to Ludovic of Gray's Inn, then to Cluwin Cooper Huppeling, then to Emily of Dunvegan, then to Friedeberg von Katzenella Bogen, then to Eric Renier de Lebert, then to Jacob of Dunmore, then to myself, Jacob Martinson. And now, Your Majesty, to Poso.
Is there a caller for the lineage that this man has come from?
There is. Your Majesties, this is the first caller that I was given. One of the first 5 Masters of Defense, and now represents our lineage.
Is there a personal caller for this man?
There is. And there's one more thing.
Your Majesties, may I approach? I am Baron Don Damien Greybeard of Lockhart, Master of Defence. I would approach and present a personal token to the candidate. Your Majesties, this war marks the 20th anniversary of my first pension. I have returned many times in that time. I have found here friendship, valor, honor, all of the virtues for which we in the society strive. I can think of no person who exemplifies them more than Poe. These tokens were made by Mistress Rowan of Lockhart when the order was first formed. They are designed to be linked to a chain or to be worn as I do, sewn to a collar as for use upon the field. They are a little stronger and I tend to lose them less. No small things. I would now present this to Poe from your hands, if I may. It is a personal token marking close to 20 years of friendship and admiration. Thank you, Your Majesties. Thank you for your time.
Summoned, I come. I take the place that has been prepared to me in the name of the crown. I vow to serve this kingdom, this crown, and this society with heart, with mind, with honor, with rapier hand and rapier wit, with pen, voice, and every word at my disposal. I will be scholar, mentor, counsel, and defender. Until I die, or the world ends. So say I, Master Thomas.
We hear your words, and we have seen the truth of them, and who you were before this day. We trust you in every second after this day. You defend our learning new way by teaching, writing, and by helping other people struggle through divine. Rise, Master. Oh yeah, we gotta give that back to him. He's got a hanger for it and everything.
That's right.
And she has seen ample time on this field. Your Majesty, when Callista sent me off to do the White Star, she did me the honor of allowing me to this
This fine occasion we now remark of the roguish one post Silvertop, whose cunning grin need not deny, when girded with strong alibi. Merry make with fish and rose, to parry forth and thus repose. Herald to the court, wordsmith to the crown, Shakespeare's man and Fabris fan of great renown. In quest to lead the deadly dance, Sylvan Ethelmark he doth enhance, and roses smiling he hath served, fine courtly manners each deserved. As novice prizes doth he render, decree with thus him our defender. King Gareth calls with trepidation, from Juliana Queen comes inspiration, to signify his patent right, don ye now the collar white. From this day forth words shall commence, post Silvertop, master of defense. Yea, verily yea, on this most joyous occasion do we Gareth and Juliana, king and queen of Sylvan Ethelmark, proclaim post Silvertop the rogue, a peer of our order of the Masters of Defense, and further do we bestow upon him arms patent, per chevron, azure and sable, a rapier inverted argent, and over all an apple ore, to be borne by him alone, set by our hands this 3rd day of August, Anno Societatis 54, upon the rapier field at the 48th Great Pensic War. Dum vivimus vivamus. The words are by Don Jehan LeBlanc, calligraphy and illumination by Eleonora Braunul. For Master Poe Silvertop the rogue, newest companion of the Ethelmark Order of Defense.
Vivas! Vivas! Vivas!
There being no immediate business before their Majesty's court, this court is hereby suspended.